Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first one is from Tyler Elder. Hi, John and crew. I can't wait for Top Gun Maverick, especially since hearing they filmed in real fighter jets. Variety just reported that it's getting a premiere at the 75th Cannes Film Festival this May, even though it feels like we've been waiting 75 years for it. This news only adds to my anticipation. My question is, are you guys surprised that the long overdue sequel is getting a slot at the prestigious festival? And does this raise your excitement level? Thanks.
All right, thanks for sending that in, man. And yeah, look, joking aside, we have been waiting forever for Top Gun. When they dropped the Top Gun trailer, there was still Comic-Con. I mean, you gotta go back. You gotta go back to when San Diego Comic-Con was actually being held in person. I still remember when Tom Cruise comes out, we're going to show the first look at our new Top Gun. This movie's supposed to come out years ago. And then it was supposed to come out months ago. And then they moved it again. Now, we've mentioned before that we have seen, Aaron and I saw like 13, I can't remember if it was 13 or 18 minutes. Keep going back in my head. But anyway, they showed us a chunk of the new Top Gun Maverick. And all we can say is that we loved what we saw. I was so surprised. Because, you know, for a long time I said, this is too little too late. This is something that should have happened 15 years ago. This is something that, you know, but what we saw was fantastic. And now it's coming out, and it is indeed getting played at the world-famous Cannes Film Festival. This comes to us from the folks at Variety, who write the following. Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick has been cleared for takeoff with a special screening at the Cannes Film Festival. As Variety predicted earlier this month, the Top Gun sequel will screen during the French Film Fest, which celebrates its 75th anniversary later this year. And that is a big deal. And again, that comes to us from the folks at Variety. It's a big deal when your film gets to play there. However, I'm going to say this. Is it a good thing that it's playing at Cannes? Yes. Because it's opening there. It looks like it's going to open there maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks before the movie opens, which means word is going to get out about it. So this tells us that Paramount is comfortable with word about this movie getting out prior to even the review embargoes lifting and when the movie debuts. So that's a good sign. But is it automatic that, if it plays at Cannes, then it must be artistic? No, a lot of different films have played at Cannes. Don't get me wrong, it's great when your film can play there. But for instance, Lightyear is going to be playing there, which is probably going to be awesome in and of itself. So I would say this movie playing there is a good sign. Is it the be-all and end-all that should completely change our perception of this movie, of how good it's going to be? No. But it's a good sign nonetheless. Anyway, Rob, where's your expectation level right now? We're getting closer and closer, finally, to Top Gun Maverick, assuming they don't move it again. And what do you think about the significance, if there's any significance, of it playing at Cannes?
John, I'm not going to lie. I'm deliriously excited for this movie. I don't care what anyone says. Like when I was a kid, I built a lot of planes. And the F-14 Tomcat was one of my favorite jets ever in the American air arsenal. And it was like watching, the original Top Gun for me was like porn. It was literally like watching pornography. That's how exciting I found it, because it was all full of F-14s flying in the air. I mean, like, my God. Now, this movie doesn't have F-14s because we don't fly them anymore, which is too bad, but they're outmoded. But still, Joseph Kosinski, who directed this film, directed Tron Legacy, which, was disappointing. But he also made Oblivion, which I actually really liked. And the more I watch Oblivion, the better off it gets. And he obviously directed Tom Cruise in Oblivion. So there's a reason why Tom Cruise wanted Kosinski to direct this film. And he's got a really interesting, it's almost a clinical visual style that he's brought to the flight scenes in this from what we've seen. Dude, the flight scenes in this movie, come on. I mean, the way they were mounting IMAX cameras or whatever, they were inside cockpits and on the planes. The flying scenes in this movie, from what we've seen, and you've confirmed it for me, are the most insane jet flying scenes that have ever been committed to film. Not since, Bad Robot just announced they're going to produce a Blue Angels documentary, which is probably going to be even better. But I can't wait for this movie. I just need to understand why Tom Cruise, after 35 years, is still flying jets. Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'll tell you what. The first 15 minutes of the movie basically tells you.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing. But come on, man. I hear Harold Faltermeyer's Top Gun anthem, which they use it again. Come on.
Dude, I'm telling you what.
My nostalgia button is pushed to the the red line on this thing. Come on.
I again, you know me, the pessimism I've had about the project, but sitting in that theater in Vegas at CinemaCon, and we knew, okay, we're about to show us a little bit of Top Gun. Okay. Dark screen and that iconic gong.
Yeah.
Boom.
And that gong is so, there's not that, when you hear that gong, it means one thing.
Yeah. Top Gun.
That's it.
And then a bit of silence, and then another gong, and then the percussion is dun, 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 gong, dun, dun, and then the notes, dun, dun, right? And I'm sitting there going,
dude,
I had a physiological reaction that I wasn't expecting.
I know,
like,
I will.
The hair on my arms are standing up, and I'm like, just hearing the sound, and then the picture comes in, and then we got to see what we saw. So, yeah. Anyway, Chris, you hear about this. Like, number one, where are your expectation levels like right now for Top Gun? And then more specifically, does the fact that it's getting an entrance into cons, does that increase your excitement for it? Is it not a big deal? How do you see it?
So, I mean, I'm going to be honest. This is not a movie that revs my engine.
were you laughing at me when I was?
No, I loved
Okay,
it.
I was just checking.
I love your enthusiasm, Rob. I'm never going to yuck your yum. But this is just like the content here is not something that I really go out for. Like, I'm not a fighter jet kind of gal, you know? But I hopefully, when I see this, though, will go, wow, what an interesting film. How fun. I mean, the thing I liked most about the first one was Val Kilmer. So maybe there'll be something here for me. We'll find out. That all said, the fact that it's at Cannes doesn't really mean anything. Everything has been there, from like prestigious films with Daniel Day-Lewis in it, right? To my buddy Asta Paredes getting there and promoting, Return to Nukem High for the Troma company. So all kinds of films go to this film festival. Going to a festival doesn't determine its merit. How it's received at that festival, that's a different thing. So we'll see.
But I would say this, John, because I didn't answer this question. The thing about the Cannes Film Festival is this is a big studio tentpole movie that they spent a lot of money on. It's been sitting on a shelf for a while. It's got one of the biggest movie stars in the world. I think that what we can take away from this is Paramount is incredibly confident in this film. And by giving it a global launch at the Cannes Film Festival is a hugely important thing as far as their marketing is concerned. And it also shows a vote of confidence with the studio with this movie. Because if it sucked, they're not going to do it. They're not going to launch it there because, the most eviscerating critics of all are the French. I mean, Cahiers du Cinema, and all the great, they're the toughest market, man. And if you can launch a movie at Cannes and the critics, especially the French, because if you go to the Cannes Film Festival, they have applause that can last for minutes at a time.
Is true.
And if you're sitting in the Grand Palais and they give you a standing ovation, dude, you're golden.
It does show confidence. But again, getting in, it's one thing. Are they going to get that applause?
Well,
Will they have earned that standing O? Will they receive it?
With the showing confidence thing, a movie's getting bumped is never a great thing. But when Paramount was bumping this thing, it was done with the air of confidence in it, because it's almost like when they bumped this film, and this isn't true of others, but with this film, you felt like, because it could have released a few months ago, they could have done that, but they were like, listen, this movie is so good, we have got to get it like in the right place with the maximum amount of audience and all this kind of stuff. Like, so they have been kind of screaming confidence in this film right from the beginning. And so we'll find out when the French tells us if it's true or not.
Let me ask one more question to both Chris and you, Ray. Obviously, we're from a different generation.
Right.
We're from the Top Gun generation. You guys are younger than we are. Chris, we just heard your opinion. Mm-hmm. Ray, what do you think? Do you think your generation is excited?
Because let me tell you right now, Ray never shuts up about Cannes Film Festival. Like, that's all he talks about all the time, every day, all of his various experiences at Cannes. It's been great.
Top Gun. Are you a Top Gun guy? Like, are you excited for this movie? Because you're younger than me.
I was never the hardcore Top Gun guy, but I need a movie with fast planes right now. It's just something. That I haven't seen in a while, and I'm like, with all the superhero movies and this and that, I need something to.
And it's real. They shot the stuff.
Do you feel the need? The need for speed.
The need for speed, especially the way we saw the Mandalorian, like in the thing with his ship.
With his little Corvette.
I can't wait to see the real stuff Tom Cruise do his thing. Let's not talk a lot in this movie, please, or else I'll go to sleep. Just be in the air, be shooting something. Let's do it. Whatever war you're in,
Not no talking.
do
Tom
it for a long
Cruise.
time.
Listen, I don't want any dialogue in this film, all right?
Do it for a long time. Every now and then, yeah, the bogey, something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just let me see the headset view. Let me feel the speed that you're going. Let me feel the dog chases or the
dog
or whatever
chases?
whatever they're called.
Dog fights.
Dog fights. And the dog chases, whatever. And that's it. Let's just be in the sky the whole time. Unlimited gas. Let's go.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Are you looking forward to Top Gun Maverick? Is it too little too late? Are you excited about its entrance in the festival? Maybe it's not a big deal. Whatever you guys are feeling, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, Policy Genius. Life insurance can give you peace of mind that if something happens to you, your loved ones would have a financial cushion for rent or mortgage payments, loans, education costs, and everyday expenses. Policy Genius is your one-stop shop to find and buy the insurance that you need. You can click in the description or head to policygenius.com/Campea and answer a few questions. In just a few minutes, you can compare personalized quotes from top companies to find your lowest price. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius, because the team of licensed experts at Policy Genius will help you understand your options and apply for the policy that you choose. The Policy Genius team works for you, not for the insurance companies. You can trust them to offer unbiased help and advocate for you at every step until you're covered. And to make things even better, Policy Genius doesn't add on extra fees, they don't sell your info to third parties, and Policy Genius has thousands of 5-star reviews across Google and Trustpilot. So right now, head to policygenius.com/Campea to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save.